Welcome back. It's time for the October for the Love of Crafting and Sharing YouTube Hop. Our theme this month is dies. I'm Emilee, and you've found Emilee's Paper Caper, where we're all about scrapping our stash and getting some pages done. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Please hit the subscribe button and bell icon now so you don't miss any ideas. A year or two ago, I ordered this set of fall dies from peachycheap.com. I decided to use these leaf dies to create some embellishments for the page I'm doing for this hop. All the ladies participating in this hop are linked and listed below. I hope you'll check them out. There's always tons of great inspiration in this monthly hop. For die cutting, I do have a Cuttlebug, but I also have a Tim Holtz Sidekick that I use to cut these smaller dies. The Sidekick is easy to use and very portable. It's a great way to use paper scraps. Off camera, I make lots and lots of these leaves, and I'll use them on the layout. I'm just showing you the first couple to give you a feel, in case you haven't used a machine like this before, how crisp and neat the dies look. Here's a look at the papers and photos that I have set aside for this layout. I'm working with 5 photos. We live in a rural area and have enjoyed taking photos of the pretty fall colors and skies. As part of my 2020 resolutions, I'm trying to use a basket full of pocket cards, and so I've found 4 pocket cards that I will use on this layout. For the lighter pocket cards, I'm going to use this carved pumpkin distress ink to add a little bit of color to the edges. I've been doing more of this type of edging lately to help things stand off the page a little bit, and when it's a lighter color, I kind of feel like it's a little dull, so I've added some ink around the edges. I have an idea for how I want to arrange these photos. I printed this large photo in 5x7 and everything else is 4x6. And I think I'll put the 3 horizontal photos stacked on the right-hand page, and then the other 2 will be on the left-hand page. So I'll kind of set those aside and then get my backgrounds ready to go. I have this basic gray paper. On the back, it's kind of a denim, and on the front, it looks like a bunch of washi strips or strips of paper were sewn to the page, and I like that look. I've pulled 2 cream cardstocks and this scrap of green cardstock. I'm going to do some tearing and get the backgrounds ready to go. I'm not a big fan of white backgrounds, so I want to fill up this cream paper with these other 2 pattern papers. After I get the background papers kind of set up, I'll go in with my HEG gun and get things adhered to the page. I like to try to pick up that gun once, so I'll turn all of these over and then get the adhesive on them all and then go back in and adhere them. Now that those backgrounds are ready to go, I can arrange my photos. this layout will go together nicely because I already have a good idea of how I want those photos arranged on the page. I like elements on my pages to touch and overlap just a bit, so I'm going to tuck that photo on the top of the left underneath the larger photo. Off camera, I end up trimming about 1/8 of an inch off of each of those stacked photos on the right-hand page. For the pocket cards, I want to use one as the page title. It says, "My everyday life looks like this." And the other I will use as an embellishment and to hold the date the photos were taken. The two darker pocket cards I want to use as a bit of a photo mat on these pages. I've got two of these beautiful brown pocket cards. I'm going to trim them in half so that I can use them to mat behind the photos just a bit on both sides of the layout. Off camera, I will adhere the photos and trim them. And now I want to start embellishing the page. I'm trying to use a bunch of brads up this year. I've decided that some brads as photo corners on this page will look quite nice since these are rule photos. They just feel like some of that farm equipment and the fencing and things kind of makes me feel like the brads will add a nice rustic look to this page. So I've added brads to the four corners of the 5x7 photo and the top corners and the bottom corners of that series of horizontal pictures on the right-hand page. I like to use my paper piercer to make the holes needed for all the brads, and I put them in all at once, and then I'll turn the page over and use the We Are Memory Keepers tool to set those brads. It's a lot easier on your fingers to use a tool like this. You don't have to, but I find it quite convenient. If you're interested in a tool like this, I'll link to one down below. It is not an affiliate link, it's just for your convenience. If you don't have a paper piercer and want one that also sets brads, I'll leave a link for you. I have a lot of fun embellishing the page with these leaves. I do some of that off camera, but I will come back and show you close-ups of how things turn out. It's sort of just based on what looks good to the eye. I like to try to make it look like those leaves are falling across the page, and so I've put some across both pages and tried to get a mix of colors around the page. I have lots more of these leaves die cut and ready to go. I'll use them on other layouts and on my 2020 gratitude journal. If you'd like to keep on scrapping with me, here's a video about my 2020 gratitude journal. The journal is all set up and ready for the month of November. Let's keep on scrapping.